at Security Dodge. So thank you, Security Dodge. I'd like to start off by saying good evening to my good friend, Michael K.
Duh.
And to Don.
You're not a 25-year-old hip-hop yo-yo anymore.
And to Don.
If Flavor Flav was on this show, I'd say, listen, you're a 60-year-old man. Lose the clock.
I'd like to say good evening to myself.
Kiki is back!
Yeah. That was joyous.
He brought it yesterday. If you get a chance, Tom, could you maybe find the part in there that Michael enjoyed? I'd like to hear it maybe back when Freddie Keehan was informed about Lawrence Taylor. Michael, that was a surprising moment for you.
It's something I'll remember forever. And by the way, we should do a little promo. You know, it's coming up at 4:45.
Go ahead, tell him.
Howard Andrew Rose. Howie Rose.
Did you make up the Andrew?
Yes.
You didn't go Bartholomew, huh?
No, that's Don's thing and your thing.
What about
I like my own thing.
Demetrius?
Nope.
Howard Demetrius Rose?
No.
Wasn't there a James Bartholomew Tucker?
Yeah, he used to have a show, John Bartholomew Tucker.
Yeah.
He also was a famous voiceover guy.
I don't know why that popped into my head when he said Bartholomew. Good stuff.
Oh. Really? Some quality work by everybody.
Oh, there you go.
Don, I kind of want to get this out of the way
it.
just because it's so sad. It's like even reading it just breaks me, man. But last night they honored Johnny Gaudreau when the Flames played Columbus, the Blue Jackets. And obviously those are the two franchises he played for. The game was in Calgary. His entire family was there. Guy Gaudreau was part of the ceremonial puck drop. There was a tribute video that featured a quote from Johnny Gaudreau that read, "I hope the people of Calgary can remember me not only as a hockey player but also a good person with good values." This story is one of the saddest I've ever seen in the history of sports. Yeah. And this was sort of of all the different honors there's sort of been so far, Don, it feels like this was sort of the pinnacle of that honoring of his legacy.
You know, watching it, I brought it up on my podcast today with Anthony, that we're about a little over 2 months, maybe close to 3 now since it happened. And his father, Guy, has been skating with the Flyers, skated back on Monday in practice with the Flames. He's got to see his mom there. And it's been so difficult for them. No parent should ever have to bury children, never mind a child. But they seem to be looking like they're getting better and trying to move on. And it was so poignant. The Flames did a great job. For people that don't know, that's the team that drafted him. He played for the Flames, then eventually signed a few years ago with Columbus, and this was their first meeting in Calgary, so they embraced the family. And I don't know the country artist's name. I apologize. Maybe Anthony can find it. I never heard this version before. It was an acoustic, slowed-down version of Johnny Be Good, which was just so touching, and they just handled it very, very well. Hockey community is a different bird because we could all be rivals. You know, Devils, Rangers, Islanders in this area all hate each other, but we all can come together for hockey. Because we have to support each other, because it's not a sport that is as popular as the others, so you kind of have to fight for the attention. So when somebody in the hockey community passes away, it touches everybody in the exact same way. So I'm glad you brought that up, Peter, because it was a very touching, poignant moment of probably, you're not, that's not hyperbole. One of, if not the worst tragedies we've seen in sports, considering how young he was, his brother, the way they were taken, how great a player he was. It just, local area, it's really in every way, it was just devastating.
And they made Johnny the #1 star in honor at the end of the night.
And also, you guys keep saying it's a terrible sport. I mean, it's a heartbreaking story, period. I mean, the sister was getting, I mean, it's just, it breaks your heart on every single level.
It had so many different levels that made it just heartbreaking. And it kept going, as time went on. It just like awful stuff.
Yeah, but George, I guess Anthony was able to find, I guess it's the anthem singer in Calgary, George Canyon. So try to find it on social media. It's probably on YouTube or whatever. Just a very, very well done.
So sending love to the Gaudreau family. Now, and of course it all happened in this area where his sister's wedding was supposed to take place. All right, Kevin Durant Hurt last night. He suffered a left ankle sprain.
Can't stay healthy, man. It's unbelievable.
In a Suns victory on Tuesday night, Suns will now play at least a week without Durant, who got the Suns started to an 8-1 start before suffering a calf strain on November 8th. He came back the 26th, and now here he is hurt again on December 3rd. The Suns had gone 3-1 with him back in the lineup. He, not surprisingly, Michael, when he's playing, he's that team.
But it's so sad. We're never realizing his unbelievable greatness because he can't stay on the court anymore. He gets hurt all the time.
Yeah. It's he's not a spring chicken, Mike.
No.
He's not.
And you can see now, LeBron's not playing that great. LeBron's numbers are good, but then if you look at his plus minus, I mean, he's grossly outscored every time he's on the court. So I mean, people get older. Again, there's only one Tom Brady.
Yeah, and by the way, if Tom Brady had to go out and play defense, guess what? Probably wouldn't have gone great. And lo and behold, guys, that incredible Lakers start, listen, they're 12-9 now. They're in the 9 spot. It's not exactly how things started off. Michael, we've started off with a couple of grim stories. Let's go back to a moment that you also found troubling when Freddie Keehan joined the show yesterday.
North Kakalaki. Some of the great history of the football, too. You got Drake May, Vince Carter.
Mm-hmm. Lawrence Taylor.
Is that right?
Yeah.
LT.
Well, there's a mistake you keep making, Peter, and it's making me worry. You keep saying yesterday. This was on last Friday.
Yeah, it was Monday.
No. Yeah, it was Monday. That's right. I'm wrong, too.
Wait, Don.
Yes.
Don. How do you say you're worried about someone because I'm getting the day off by 1 day, and then you correct me by being off by 3 days?
God bless.
So you're both off.
Well, listen,
just a matter of the direction
about myself.
Right, but it's me.
So much younger. I mean, you're 51 years old.
That's not true. I'm 45. Freddie Keehan. So happy for the Keehan.
You think he's going to keep that job full time?
No.
Oh, yeah. How could he not?
Because what I would like is for you to get a hold of Keechens, right? And have him walk into a house and recruit a kid. Recruit the mom and say, I want you. I can't even do them because,
No.
That would be quite a scene. Picturing Freddie Keehan recruiting
in a
child.
kitchen.
The reason Michael couldn't do
Keehan.
He said the name. It sounded too much like Kitchens.
Yes.
Right. So you're saying Freddie Keehan in the Keehan. Talking to the family. That's a great, you know what? That might be a holiday gift that you get. That could be a
holiday gift at the party next Friday.
Troubling moment on Barton Hahn earlier when Alan discovered that I was watching the wrong Knicks broadcast. Let's listen.
Peter Rosenberg put up a video of himself. I guess somebody gifted him some Commander stuff. I wasn't paying attention to what was in the box. You know what I saw behind him was a TV screen. And on that TV screen was the Knicks game. And then I look a little closer and I see the score bug, and it ain't MSG. It's the TNT score bug. And I'm thinking, and that's why I said, it be your own people.
That's right, man.
I just need to understand something here. How are you watching? Reggie Miller was on the call.
He hates us.
And you're like, yeah, I want to hear that instead of Mike Breen and Clyde Frazier? Peter Rosenberg, what are you doing? How do you have that game on? And I understand. For Peter Rosenberg, he's a Celtics fan. He doesn't care about the Knicks, so he doesn't care about Reggie Miller the way Knicks fans do. But it's me. That's a little, wouldn't you say, if you're sitting there right now, you're sitting there with the lovely and pregnant Miss Hat, and she's sitting there, and he's like, oh, I've got to put the game on. Do you think there should be the choice of, shouldn't we put on MSG because of your boy? Am I right or am I wrong?
I guess you're not boys, I guess.
That's not true.
Well, come on, it's not wrong.
Well, what do you mean? What he said? That's what I'm saying.
But I don't know.
How
close are you to Alan?
Love Alan. We talk quite a bit.
I'm sure you do. You work at the same radio station, but he kind of made it seem like Michael used the analogy that I watch, when the Mets and the Yankees play. I've known Michael for a quarter century.
Well, yeah, that doesn't matter. Hold on.
You're an acquaintance with Alan. You've never broken bread with the man. You've never had a drink with the man. You've never seen him outside the station unless you were forced to. Stop it. Let's not make this some sort of a relationship. There is none. Let's call it what it is. Michael, tell me out. Let's call it what it is. Allen
Fugazi.
overstepped. Allen overstepped.
No. But I think just because you're on the same team, I don't say he's close with Allen, but we do like Allen.
Well, hold on. Well, what world are we talking about? We live in a pretend world where Michael is best friends with Rick. Okay?
That's
best
not
friends.
a pretend world. My best friend is Mike Breen. Rick's up there.
So Don, if here's my question. If Rick is, quote, up there among Michael's best friends,
yummy,
then Allen is one of my very good friends. A very, very, very close friend. So if that's the world we're operating in real life, Allen and I communicate regularly. I think we have a great respect for one another.
I'm not saying you don't.
And I think he's right that if you have a great respect for someone, like, for example, I expect that when you're out driving around in the morning, your first choice would be to listen to our radio station because you're a team player.
Yeah,
well,
Ray Rowe.
Up until recently. Then, if they go to commercial, my hope would be, Don, because unlike Michael, you're a friend, you say, oh, well, what are Ebro, Laura, and Rosenberg talking about?
Yes, I do that.
Because that's what friends... So Allen is right to expect that from me, and he didn't get that. The only person who doesn't do things like that is Michael.
I guess I'm a bad guy is what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying. All right, let's move forward.
You're not respecting the clock, Anthony just told me.
Oh, no. Did he yell it?
We have a guest coming up.
Okay, Peter's got a little left.
Yeah, I just had a tiny bit more gas in the tank before we go to break.
Do what you want. But you be you.
No, you know what? No. I don't want to do it anymore. I was going to play you Aaron Rodgers, which we know you love.
Clown show.
All right,
I'll wait.
Then we break.
I will wait for the documentary Enema.
All right, we'll save it for the Enema documentary then, and we'll get to Howie Rose next. That'll do it for ENN on this Wednesday evening, brought to you by Security Dodge. Shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com during the wrap-up-the-year sales
So
event.
after that little conversation, Peter, I just got a text from Rick DiPietro who said, love you. They're so jealous. They are.